Three. Nandun eh.
No, you're fine. You don't have to rush. Oh, yeah, don't rush. Be doing
Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright.
One and two dito.
Your mind will be able to control that avatar. Using avatars to fly this way was all figured out by my boss, Dr. Jackie Ogden.
Two.
She leads our science
the
team,
red and white circle all the way
which is
down
part of
there.
the
Thank
Pandora
you.
Conservation Initiative. And we're here in the Valley of Moara studying banshees and their environment. Let's watch this piece by Dr. Ogden, who runs the program.
Incredibly important rite of passage they call Ikni Maya. With permission from the Na'vi and in partnership
Good
with
to see you.
Alpha Centauri Expeditions, we can now bring this amazing experience to you.
So ayun, katatapos namin manood ng 3D Avatar movie. Oh my God. Kakatakot. Shit, parang totoo. Oh my God. Shame. Pero ang ganda, grabe. Super ganda. Sorry.
My bad. Alright. Bili natin. Vamos para... Sa Africa. Africa din.
We're going to Africa. Woo. We're going to eat lunch. Okay, dito kami sa may Africa ngayon. Sa Africa restaurant. So, dito kami magla-lunch. Naka-reserve kami for 2:30 p.m. para kumain lunch. Ayan, Africa. May Starbucks. May Starbucks pala. OMG. May Starbucks din dito. Nako. Malaki na naman yung mata ni Jasmine yan. Kaya pala buhay na buhay. Ito yung way papunta sa Africa. Papunta ng Africa. So, dito yung mga kainan. Dito. So, kailangan, pagdating nyo dito, magpa-reserve na kayo. Kasi, mahirap nang kumuha.
Para ma-video mo yung ano.
Again, for today's journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. While we are moving, please make sure you're keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. Make sure those face coverings are staying on all the way, and that does mean over the nose, mouth, and chin. Face coverings do need to be on. Please cover your nose, mouth, and chin. And also make sure everybody is staying fully and completely seated, so please no standing. If you do plan on taking any photos or videos, go ahead and get those cameras and phones out and ready to go. We're not able to stop for every single animal, and those animals certainly do not stop for us, so make sure you have your cameras ready. So this first area we've just entered is called the Little Aturi Forest. Usually there's actually this orangey colored animal. That's a bongo. Bongos' horns don't really stand straight up, and instead they curve slightly back towards their heads, making it easier for them to move through the forest without getting stuck in. But they're not related to zebras at all. They're actually one of the only known relatives to giraffes. They have a prehensile tongue like that. They were just thought to have been a myth. So over on the left, around the area, are able to hold their breath about 6 to 8 minutes at a time. They'll close out their nostrils and their ears to help out with holding their breaths. They don't really swim up on the top of the water either. Although they are excellent swimmers, they can if they want to. But as they start to get a little older and to weigh, there's another hippo over on the left that's out of the water. With their mouth shut, they have a very toothy grin with a fourth tooth sticking all the way out. They are able to weigh as much as about 500 pounds, and they can eat about half their 100-pound crocodile would be able to eat about 200. Hippos have a sponge-like texture on the inside that holds a really large amount of water inside them, so they are extremely useful for animals, especially during droughts. They can pierce the bark with their... Up here on this overlook where we are is actually one of my favorite views out there. And holy cow, those horns can grow to be about 6 to 8 feet long from base to tip. There's also the grayish colored animals just behind him. Those are wildebeest. Wildebeest really love rainy weather, and they do like to migrate according to rainstorms. So even follow rainstorms up to about 1,000 miles per year. And they can be in a group as big as about 1.5 million of them traveling together. That's known as the Great Tiger one that's closer to the road on the left. There's also on the left, African wild dogs. They are usually just too tired to continue, giving them a higher success rate at hunting than big cats like lions or cheetahs even have. Though they were not used for milk or for meat, they were just a sign of wealth. There's also termite mounds we're passing by, the cicadas. They also have smaller hooves that make it down mountains, and a small skin flap that hangs from their neck like Healy. There's also a bunch of these tiny little antelope we're coming up to. They look like little s'mores on sticks. They have some pretty powerful little legs. They can actually jump into the seat next to you in just one jump. Crystallize around their spots. So pretty easy to remember if you think about it as Messi from Masai. If you can see any of those giraffes' tongues too, their tongues are a purplish blue color. They soon don't get sunburned on their tongues as they eat up at the high points of trees throughout the day. Giraffe tongues also get up to about 21 inches long. That's about the same length as your forearm. Not only super great for them to reach the leaves up high, but giraffes can also lick their own eyeballs. I know there's an elephant, and they're the same type of monkey as Rafiki, so they look familiar, that's why. So you can see that tongue a lot with her right now. And there's a couple up here on the left-hand side too. We're going to keep going and try to get up to her before she goes hides behind the rocks. Here we go. Here's this giraffe on the left. He can last up to about 2 years. There's also the flamingos, of course, out on the left. These are greater flamingos. They are the largest of the flamingo species, but they're the lightest pink. But you might see a few out there that have their heads and legs are still pretty gray. And then they also have some black feathers on the tips of their wings still. Those are the younger ones, not the ones that are old. They're still a great way to show people how flamingos don't actually hatch pink, but instead they hatch as that grayish-white color. So they will gain their pink color as they eat brine shrimp that gives them a beta-carotene, and that's what causes them to turn pink. Oh, there's the baby elephant. They have issues digesting food occasionally, so what they'll do to help out with that is they will actually swallow rocks. They're a little funny, but they're cool to see.
Tour guide.
The oily substance is kind of stinky, so they're not really the best smelling animals to get to a high ground to be able to see what their surroundings are like. So we're going to keep going around the cover drive. See a baby rhino. He's one of the newest babies around. Looks like a little chicken nugget. So this is a crash of rhinos out here. Though they do have excellent hearing to cope with their poor eyesight. And their name originated from the wide flat mouth, from the word vite with a V, which is Afrikaans for word wide, not white. One of those eggs can equal to about 2 dozen chicken eggs, and they have some really...
Fake lang naman pala.
Be. Tingin ka. Tingin ka. Akit, punta ka na doon. Dalawa kayo. Oh. Mas mo. Mas mo.
May mga zip line, ganon.
Picture.
Ano bang pwede siyang mag-pizza habang nabibidyo, di ba?
Ha?
Pwede siyang mag-pizza habang nabibidyo. Mushroom.
Oh my God, ang ganda. Oh. Totoo yun?
No. Ito may tali. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you.